Okay, well, what we're looking at here is my Heathkit GR64 shortwave multi-band receiver. This is a four-band receiver. Um, Receives everything from 550 kilohertz up through 30 megacycles on four bands. Um, when I first got it, the thing was a basket case. The audio amplifier was very weak and it was extremely distorted. The sensitivity on this thing was nil. Hooking it up to a signal generator, you could barely put something through it. And in digging into it, we found a number of problems. One of the biggest being that the solder joints were extremely bad, so I had to resolder everything. And then there was an experimental part somebody installed, pulled that. We had the source of the audio problem mostly was this capacitor. It's a little black on this one edge here. You can see that it was actually shorting inside, sort of a sputter. Then we have a resistor that's about 40% off value. We had one that was broken, and we had a capacitor that I suspected, but I'm actually thinking it may have been okay, but I swapped it anyway. Got those parts pulled, and we started to get a signal again, and so then we gave it an alignment, and this is the results. So we're going to take you through. Alright, we're going through the standard AM channels right at the moment.
Sometimes we talk about things other than money, other than politics. We have because for him,
as you can see, it's doing a pretty good job.
one of my favorites.
It uses an internal wand for that, a ferrite rod for the AM stations. And I have an outdoor antenna, a wire one, which for shortwave, it's an absolute must. Believe it or not, we're still in Detroit here on the AM stations. Alright, we're going to switch to our shortwave band here. Alright, let's cut that down. We're going to take her all the way back down to the bottom and come up again. You need a good wire antenna. I'd say at least 50 feet of wire, 80 feet preferably. Just greatly improves your reception. So anyway, since I have the external antenna, I did wrap a few wires. I wrapped a wire a few turns around the ferrite rod, and I have it connected to the antenna terminal. So we're supplementing the rod with the outdoor antenna at the moment. That's giving us a pretty good boost too. But right now we're on band B. This is going to take us from 1.5 kilocycles up to 4 megacycles. 1.5 megacycles to 4 megacycles.
Eligible receiver. In our class, do you have a gun? And that is the second pass interference call against Drake Kirkpatrick. That's 1-800-218-3527. 1-800-218-3527. If you're a business owner with sales team,
We're going to get some noise from some noisy power supply or something around in the area. I'd like to figure it out and get rid of it, but
the big one. Do that. Sleeping like they did praise God about.
Alright, since we have Morse code going on, let's go ahead and put ourselves in continuous wave, adjust our BFO. Alright. Those are ham radio operators and working sideband. I can pick them up too. Adjust our BFO again.
Delaware, copy 3-5.
Somebody in Delaware. Alright, let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and move us to band C. Band C covers 4.0 to roughly 10 megacycles. We're going to start out here in what they call the marine and weather band, but then it's going to get into some international broadcasting, so we should be able to pick up on that relatively quick. Let's go ahead and...
At U.S. Mexico. At the OTA crossing near the San Diego.
That's a ham guy again.
The Dream 9, who use a claim of asylum to gain re-entry into America.
WWV. This is at 5 megacycles. I don't know, my guess would be Cuba at this point, but I'm not sure. Christian broadcast.
And we could actually tell people here, it's in the book.
horizon tells traveling lane right.
Pensar cada vez más como latinoamericanos y pensar cada vez menos como
Yes, scary that is. This is one where I speak of gnosis. It's scary. Pan American Office regarding we work in close coordination in different aspects related to the control of the disease and the working laboratory.
This is our band spread. This is like a fine tuner.
We can shift within a few years. I believe Cuba has much strength.
This is Cuba for sure. I don't know what that was. Thing has a lot of audio now. Didn't have any. If you're somebody that lives in a noise-free environment, I'm very envious. Somewhere out in the plains of Texas, maybe. Ham radio.
But the DX phase, there was something on 15 meters I needed to work or thought I did. And I heard that band. I hadn't even ever been on 15 meters in my life. And I heard that band switch go zip. And I said, I'll work him and then I'll fix it.
Keep moving.
I have been presented with a train of thought or a theory from believers.
It's CHU Canada. Another WWV-like station.
Shows the company's inability to tackle the issues, suggesting that the country has no plan to resolve disaster. Meanwhile, questions of such countries right after the nuclear complex crippled led to a disastrous tsunami in 2011. The article points out that studies show that radioactive substances
I don't know for sure. I think it's China.
proving that the tragedy is no longer only a matter of
Sounded German to me for a moment. No, French.
Was poured upon him and all the sickness. No doubt, but they were up to at least 50.
Para toda una historia mística vinculada a su cosa del mundo, es un frío capaz.
Días antes de la batalla, el lugar donde
My guess would be that channel right here, it's just a guess, but I think it's Voice of Russia. They play a lot of this kind of music. And they are on.
Tonight will be clear. Falling to 25 tonight. Elsewhere around the Bangkok showers 31. Tokyo showers 29. Vientiane showers 27. New York sunny 27. Toronto sunny 26. Sydney sunny 23. Wellington cloudy at 16. Perth sunny 34. Cairo sunny 34. Nairobi showers 26. And finally, Nairobi will be sunny with a high of 24. Before we go, a reminder of the main stories. Egypt has shortened their nighttime curfew by 2 hours. The international aid group, Doctors Without Borders, says it tallied over 300 deaths from chemical weapons attack in Syria. Indian police has arrested another suspect involved in the terror rape case in Mumbai. Thousands of people have gathered in Washington to mark Martin Luther King's 1963 march. That wraps up this edition of News and Reports from CRI. For program producer Lisa, audio producer and the rest of our news team, I'm Wenjie in Beijing. Thanks for joining us.
Beijing, China. I thought so.
China Radio International.
Coming in very loud.
Este fin de semana del 15 y 16 de junio. Los escuchamos 11.795 kilohercios con
I'm not
5
sure if this is Chinese or Korean, maybe.
Y ahora nos vamos a donde a Argentina para encontrarnos con un viejo oyente que no
Well, that sounds Spanish.
a menudo, pero j'ai enfin lancé la spot. C'est un lieu qui garde tout ce mystère. Merci Monsieur Ben pour cette question et cette incursion dans le monde des DAS. Voici un message qui me touche beaucoup, venu de Belgique de la part de Monsieur Pierre Parent. Si vous souhaitez apprendre les danses,
Kind of sounds maybe a little Moroccan or something. I'm not sure.
Has been documented.
The two channels just about on top of each other.
You gonna believe God? Oh, the great.
WWV and 10 megacycles. We're just about out of the band. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and take us to D. And I'm going to turn this down. We're going to go start from the bottom again and come up. Hang in there, we're almost through it all. It's interesting. I've listened to Moscow, China, Australia, let's see, Romania, Voice of Russia, which I think was coming from Moscow, but I'm not positive. Okay, let's go ahead and pick ourselves up on D, right out here. Shouldn't be a whole lot of activity on D at this time of night. It's, I don't know, I think it's about 9:30. Good time for international, though. It's a good channel to use the band spread on. Very sharp tuning required on D.
Wellington observa el campo de batalla desde la Sierra de Badaga y los montes de Vitoria. Sus tropas están preparadas. Tienen 96 cañones.
If I do not look at the watch, I'll get to remember what those are. I will never recall that. I have to sound very surprised. We are stronger, you're the youngest, right? And so I was just wondering if
L'étude du roumain.
That's interesting. Sounds Indian.
I'll hold you in the right hand of my righteousness.
I'm sorry, but, this is enough.
WWV again. Actually, we just overlapped. D has a little bit of overlap of C, so we actually overlapped the 9 through 10 megacycles again. Now we're into free territory.
44 in width and 66 feet in height. In the center of the floor is an inscription that commemorates the inauguration of Vatican Council II on October 11th, 1962, and the coat of arms of
Probably
Pope
Vatican
John XXIII,
radio.
who convened an
Okay, well. What we're listening to is we're listening to Radio Australia coming in on 12.065 megacycles.
a un proceso judicial.
La melodía.
¿Puede tener una reunión con el primer ministro?
No necesitando el esfuerzo.
En moment le présent du verbe peut
And we should get more dead as we get higher up in frequency this time of night. During the daylight hours, this band is a lot more active. All right, we just went through all the bands. Ham radio again. And there's standby. You can keep the thing warm but quiet. So that's a good spot for us right now. As you can see, the paint on the unit is in pretty good shape. Well, there's a reason for that, and that's because I painted it. But I did a good job. I took the trim off before I did and painted the case. It was in pretty bad shape, had a brown burnt area on it just from the years of heat, and the paint had burned up. So I thought, having fixed this thing up like I did, I wanted it to be presentable, and so that's what I've done. About the only thing that I find kind of useless on this radio, and I haven't been able to figure it out how to really make it any better, is the relative strength meter. When you turn the power on, the meter goes down about 2/3 of the way just because the power's on, and then it bounces from there. Kind of useless. I took a look at the circuit and couldn't quite figure out what I was going to do to make it any better, so I just left it the way it is. It's really not much use anyway. You can hear the difference. There is headphone jack on the back. Let's go ahead and turn it around. Take a peek at it. We have a noise limiter, ground, antenna, Q multiplier. I don't quite know what that's all about. Some kind of gadget you can buy that improves the quality in some sense. And then along with this, I've put together a nice manual. This is the shortwave receiver manual. It takes you through the theory, circuit description, some notes on the construction, parts lists, layout. There is an alignment section right here. Alignment if you have equipment. Alignment without equipment. Operation of the unit, an antenna installation, reception guide. I'm not sure how accurate that is. It's a pretty old book, but here's a schematic of the layout, underside layout. I've made a 11 by 17 circuit diagram, so it's easier for you to work on. It's easier for me. And then I've also included some notes that I pulled off of the web from people who have done a deep dive into this and had some hints as to what you could do to improve the reception on the unit. One or two of these items I incorporated. There's a change of resistor on the detector, I think it was. Frequency converter tube 12BE6, excuse me. There was a resistor change there. So anyway, this will give you something to look at as far as what you might do if you wanted to increase things. And finally, here's some tube information regarding the tubes. So there you have it. Manual. Nice looking unit. I thank you for listening. Happy bidding. Bye.